Welcome back. Just Chili Davis back to another video. I'd like to welcome back all my subscribers and all my new viewers. This is the channel where I'll talk about my top stocks. We also talk about crypto from time to time. If you're new, please click the subscribe button. Okay, tonight we're going to talk about Seagate, Western Digital, and SanDisk. All right, so I posted in my shorts this week. We had Bitcoin surge 1% to 78,000. That was a good deal. Also, we had Alphabet shares were up 6% after a good earnings. So that was hot this week. And then, of course, SanDisk shares surged over 10% after a good week. Just in general, Monday, they started off fire under $1,000. And by the end of the week, they hit $1,187. So hot stocks this week, top of the food chain. Alphabet reported, Apple reported, Meta reported, Microsoft all reported this past Wednesday and Thursday. Okay. All right. So now let's go to look at Seagate. All right. Here we go. We have Seagate Technologies up as much as 53% over the last, I guess, month or so. If we look at the last week, shares are up as well. Since earnings, shares are up as much as 29%. Okay. Now, reason why Seagate is valuable is because with all the data centers being built, they need more storage, more hard drive space, etc. Again, the AI, artificial intelligence demand on companies like Seagate, Western Digital, and SanDisk is in high demand. Okay, so we did see shares were trading earlier in the week, $568 per share early in the week, and then after a great earnings call, the stock popped to $664. Okay, so that's a lot. Okay, so again, SanDisk shares surged pretty much this week after great earnings and the high demand, which means there's a lot more revenue coming in quickly. All right, some of that revenue is coming in from hyperscalers such as Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta. They need the hard drive space, etc., as they build out the data centers. Okay, so this is a new high here, $726 per share this week. Again, up 29% for a gain, $163. Again, one of the hottest stocks this week. Again, they did report, and it was great. I also did leave a couple shorts here on my page. So if you want to listen to some of the earnings call, whether it's Seagate, I have a short here, Seagate Technologies fiscal third quarter. Check it out. I think there was a lot of great nuggets there. Also, I did SanDisk as well. Okay, so now we'll take a look at SanDisk shares. Okay, as I mentioned, SanDisk shares hit a new high of $1,187. Again, they were up 8.25% on Friday. One of the hottest stocks there is. Had earnings on Thursday. As I mentioned, this week, shares are up as much as 15%. And over the month, up as much as 63%. And for the last 6 months, up 473%. Okay, so this stock went from literally back in December trading at $206 per share. Literally nothing, $206 per share. Now trading at $1,187. Okay, so again, I did do earnings for them as well. So if you go back, I have some snippets from the CEO comments about artificial intelligence and the demand for NAND memory. That's one of their main products is NAND memory. All right, so again, SanDisk, one of the hottest stocks this week. Again, up pretty much over 15%. But also up 63% over the month. Okay, so SanDisk shares rise from nearly $850 per share up to $1,187. All right, so hot stock this week. Lastly, we'll take a look at Google. Yeah, here we are. We got Alphabet shares trading at $383, up about 0.33%. Okay, so shares up about 0.33%. And again, their shares surged this week after a good earnings call as well. Revenue came in at over $109 billion this week on earnings call. Again, they had a EPS beat of 94% and revenue increased by 2.67%. Okay, so you can find these numbers here. Also, you can go to the uh, investors relations site and get all that great information about what took place in the earnings call. Okay, so let's go check out that really quickly. Google's investor relations. Okay, we are on Alphabet's investors relations page, abc.xyz, or you could just Google Alphabet investors relations. And again, they have the earnings call here. You can listen to the earnings call, and also you can look at the revenue through the slides as well. So if you wanted to take a look at, the actual physical revenue they had for the quarter, you're welcome to do that. Here, and you're free to check out everything that Google did this quarter. See how the last 3 months. Again, they provide a note of this as forward-looking statements, meaning that they can't guarantee anything or draw anything from it, but we can see the highlights. Okay, so there was an increase in the search and other revenue business. There was 63% in the cloud business, 16 plus billion tokens per minute were used, 350 million paid YouTube subscribers, and over 500,000 Waymo fully autonomous rides per week. Okay, so the average moved up 500,000 Waymo fully autonomous rides per week are happening as Waymo expands. Okay, so that's good for them. Again, these are guaranteed revenue over the last quarter that will continue to increase. Okay, so they have more charts and stuff. Alphabet's revenue plus operating income. Basically, they break it down. Okay, how much did you spend versus how much did you actually cost? So revenue minus operation income equals an actual profit. Okay, so that's what most people want to know. Okay, they did $109 billion. Again, this is done by Wall Street analysts. Like, they analyze these sheets, whether to upgrade the stock, put the stock at a buy rating or a hold or a sell rating. Okay, so Wall Street analysts, when they get this earnings report every 3 months, they look at this really hard to see if the business is improving over the last 3 months. And then also on the earnings call, the confidence is built whether or not the company is looking to grow over the next 3 months. Okay, so technically, you don't know what's going to happen, but as long as the CEO and its CFO, chief financial officer, are pretty confident about the future and they believe things are on track, they're going to tell you in the call, hey, guess what? We think this particular business is going to continue to grow. Okay, so that's why I did post SanDisk. They're pretty optimistic as well about their future. But Alphabet, with all, as I mentioned earlier, with all their type of businesses, whether it's YouTube or cloud business, up 63% and over 16 billion tokens per minute used. So that's across all models. Again, as long as artificial intelligence is in play with Gemini, they will continue to grow. Okay. So again, Alphabet, a phenomenal job. $109 billion in the quarter. All right. So lastly, we'll take a look at CNBC. All right, we are on CNBC, and it's going to close this out. this is the news on CNBC. Breaking news: oil prices fall in choppy trade as Trump plans to free ships stranded due to Middle East conflict. Okay, so traffic at the Straits of Hormuz looks to be opening soon. That's good news. All right, business starting to resume as usual. All right, so that will help oil prices come down and hopefully gas prices at the pump. All right. All right. So lastly, I wanted to talk about come to CNBC sometimes if you want to know what are the top stocks. Again, CNBC is a great resource. I use it all the time. Again, you can look for the top stocks here on CNBC. Okay. They have Paramount Skydance up 8.3% on Friday. Also, we have SanDisk shares they listed up 8.25%. And also Seagate Top Technologies, again, up 7.99%. Again, you can get a lot of great information from CNBC. I always talk about my top stocks from my portfolio, but CNBC has the top stocks as well. You've got Oracle, and then they've got it broken down as far as the bottom, okay? Because depending if you're building your portfolio, if you already own the top stocks, such as myself, SanDisk and Seagate and Oracle, you might want to look for new up and comers, okay? So continue to check out CNBC. Also, you've got another chart down here called Most Active. So again, Intel is another hot stock this year, moving from the $30 per share late last year and now trading at $99. Okay. Also, you've got Nvidia. Okay. One of the hottest stocks this year. Did touch $217 this week. Again, one of the hottest stocks. Also, you've got a couple ETFs. I think SOX is an ETF. So again, if you want to know what are the top stocks, come to CNBC. Come to the market movers, and it even breaks it down. This is the S&P. Then they have it so you can look at the top NASDAQ stocks as well. So it's not just S&P 500. This is the NASDAQ. So you've got in here SanDisk, of course, that's technology that's in the NASDAQ. Seagate, but you got MicroStrategy, and you got Zscaler in the NASDAQ, and then you got Datadog, okay? So these are some of the top stocks just in the NASDAQ, okay? So again, continue to use CNBC. I find it to be a great resource. If I want to know what's going on in the stock market, whether it's political or whether it's actually business, it's a great resource, okay? So continue to check out CNBC and continue to watch my channel, and I enjoy doing these videos, okay? So again, one of the hottest stocks this week is SanDisk. SanDisk shares closed up around $1,187 per share. And if you listen to the earnings call, the CEO says the business model is basically contracts for the next 3 to 5 years, growing the revenue phenomenally, over 200+% in growing revenue. All right, so again, SanDisk shares, hot stock this week, up over 25%. Again, NAND memory, AI related to artificial intelligence. If you didn't catch SanDisk, look into Seagate or look into Western Digital. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please like, share, and I hope to see you on another one.